Welcome to the Nathaniel Noble Jr. podcast, where we talk about life, because it happens to everyone. Thank you for joining your host, Nathaniel Noble Jr., bringing you real people, real conversations, and real perspectives to help you grow and stay inspired. So sit back, tap in, and let's talk about life.
You're listening to the Nathaniel Noble Jr. podcast.
Okay, welcome to this week's guest on the Nathaniel Noble Jr. podcast. A friend of mine I met years ago working, I guess, with my friend, director Adele Wallace. I met this guy through his wife, which was an actor on one of our sets, a couple of our sets. And he go by the name of DJ Doc. Birth name Thomas Howard. What's going on, buddy?
Not much. How you doing, man?
Yeah, this guy, he got that DJ voice, too. That smooth jazz, 95.7, the FM, the jazz style, or whatever. The easy listening.
Use it when I need to. But like I tell people now, I use it for good. I use it for good now.
Okay, Barry White.
Back in the day. Back in the day, you get to talking to the ladies, and it was like, okay.
That bass.
Now I use it for good.
All right, ladies, back off. He's married. And she don't play about her man, so just stay in your positions. Yep. What's up, DJ Doc? So you into all, your former Navy?
Correct.
Yeah,
I'm
thanks
a retired
for your
Navy
service.
Corpsman.
Yeah, thanks for your service.
Welcome. Did 22 years. So that was interesting. When I look back, it went by real fast.
Mm-hmm. Did you start right out of high school?
I did. I actually was 17. My mom put me in. She signed for me to go into the delayed entry program, which was about 365 days. So I actually was in before I started my senior year.
Okay.
And then 2 days after graduating high school, I was in boot camp.
Gone. So your mom signed you up. Oh, yeah, that's right. You had to be 18 to sign up, so she had to sign you up.
Right.
Was that your choice, or she was like trying to get rid of you? Like, you got to go, brother.
No.
Okay.
You know what? I'm gonna say it. I was a great kid.
Yeah, I can believe
I was a good kid.
I think I was.
I didn't cause any problems or anything like that. But I knew that I wanted to become a OBGYN doctor.
Uh-huh.
And my mom was a single parent, so college was pretty much out of the question.
Mm-hmm.
But I had uncles that were in the military, and they said, you know what? Join the military, let them pay for college. So that was my decision, and that's what I did. Yeah.
Yeah, it made sense. Well, you like the only child or what?
I am. I'm an only child.
Wow. How is that, man? I got
one mold.
I got 10 siblings. How's it like growing up being an only child?
You know, the problem now when I talk to people, they're like, you were an only child, so you were spoiled. That's the first thing they want to say. You were spoiled. Because there was no one else that had to share any of the food or the presents at the holidays and things of that nature. But no, my mom didn't play. She was like, everything that you have, you were going to earn.
Okay.
And she made sure that I understood being appreciative for everything that I had. So I really am. I don't take anything for granted.
So you was the exception to the rule of spoiledness.
I guess. Although my kids are spoiled. I spoil them.
Say, man, your mom ought to be.
Well, you know what? The big thing that I look at is I want more for my kids than what I had.
Yeah, I think your mom wanted more for you than she had, but she wanted you to be like on your game.
But the thing is that I made sure that my kids understood to appreciate what they have. And for those that are less fortunate, this is what we're going to do. So they understood about, helping those that needed help. Yeah.
Right.
No, there was a lesson they had to be a part of. So
yeah,
they didn't get spoiled for free. Let's put it that way.
There had to be some obligations attached to it.
That's right.
Cool. Yeah. So, where did this all start? DJ Doc, you've been DJing since when?
So when I was in the military, this was in 1990, since when I've been DJing. I was with the Marines at the time. And the Navy Corpsman, which I was, is medical for the Marines. So I got assigned to the Marines for about 10 years out of the 22. And during that time, we were helping at an elementary school with reading. and helping the kids read and so forth. And what happened was they were like, Mr. Howard, would you come to our dance? We're having a school dance. I was like, yeah, sure. And it was funny because in 1990, the teacher had a boombox. Now, I don't want to tell our ages, but for those that are listening that may not know what a boombox is, and her boombox, man, I'm going to tell you, her boombox was probably maybe 10 inches long, 4 inches wide. It was a small one with small speakers.
Okay. Little Panasonic.
And so she was trying, little, and it was cassettes.
Player, yeah.
Yeah. But what was funny was the fact that she had music like the Beatles. And she was playing, I want to hold your hand. And these kids were like, what is that? And you couldn't hear it over the kids playing. They were sixth graders. So, they're running around and making noise and you couldn't hear her boombox. And I said, you know what? I don't live far. Let me go get my shelf unit. And so I ran home, grabbed my shelf unit, which was a little louder. And I had a little better selection that the kids enjoyed. So I brought it through and I had CDs. Okay, now you're talking, right?
CDs. You a little advanced. CDs.
Just put the CDs on for the kids and they could hear it over the shelf unit. And so I was out there dancing with them and whatnot. And what was interesting is one of the little girls, she was having a birthday party. I didn't know, but she had told her dad that she liked the music. And he came up and he was like, oh, listen, could you DJ my daughter's birthday party this coming weekend? And I was like, oh, no, I'm not a DJ. I said, I just, went and got my boombox and my shelf unit and just put on some music that the kids like so that they could dance. He was like, I'll pay you $250.
I'm a DJ.
I said, okay. Sounds good.
That was big money back then.
Right. And what was funny was there was another little girl who was having a party and the first girl told her friend that she was going to have a DJ. And so this girl told her dad. And I guess a couple of weeks later, she was going to have a party. And her dad came up and asked, and he said, I hear he's paying you $250. I was like, yeah. He says, I'll pay you $350. I was like, okay, sure. Man, now, I don't know who all is listening, but do you remember Radio Shack?
Yeah. Oh, that should be my spot. I used to steal out of that store when I was a kid.
I
got in trouble though. I stopped.
I'm glad they can't see you because they'd be looking for you. Have your picture up at the post
radios.
office.
They had a lot of gadgets in there, man.
Yeah, they did. Because remember back then, that was the only place that really had electronics.
Everything.
And I went by there and I said, hey, listen, I'm going to DJ the weekend and I need a setup. I said, I have a shelf unit. I don't, how am I going to do this and everything else? And the guy hooked me up. And I think all told, everything that he sold me was probably $350. It was a nice little mixer, small mixer, the wires to connect the mixer to two small speakers, and a dual CD player, because I told him I had CDs. And he was like, you should be set with this. And I bought a cheap microphone, which was nothing like what we're talking on now.
Oh, yeah.
It was more like, you guys ready to dance? But that's how I started DJing. And I got the name DJ Doc because the corpsmen call Navy Corpsman. I mean, the Marines call Navy Corpsman Doc. And so once I started DJing, it became DJ Doc, and it has stuck with me all this time. That's my brand now. So
DJ Doc. So, and you still DJ to today, huh? You still?
Yeah, I do more now. Like I said, I've been doing it a long time, and I've got several DJs that if I have events, I'll let them do the big ones.
Okay.
I'm not about carrying all that big equipment anymore.
Yeah.
Although I've got a big event coming up this weekend that I'm going to do myself, and I'm going to use big speakers. But for the most part, I deal with corporate stuff now.
Okay.
So for the most part, a corporate company wants to have background music for a networking event and microphones. I hook them up small. I walk in with two speakers that connect and a microphone I make wireless, and I'm in business. And because they're a company, they pay well. Yeah. So
easy peasy.
Yeah.
Push play and walk away.
Almost.
Yeah.
Everybody needs to start their Live Good membership with Nate. And here's why. If you've been overpaying for supplements, it's time to stop. Live Good gives you premium quality products at prices that actually make sense. No inflated cost, no pressure, just real wellness. And when you join with Nate, you're not doing it alone. You're getting guidance, consistency, and someone who actually cares about your results. This isn't just about supplements. It's about taking control of your health the smart way. Take your supplement game to the next level without breaking your bank. Take the free tour today at joinNateNow.com. Once you see it, you can't unsee it.
So what else you into there, Doc?
So the big thing is I've started with the DJing and so forth. As I said, I'm a Navy Corpsman, retired. I'm also a nurse. Once I retired, I became a nurse, challenged the LVN board and became a nurse. And I'm also a speaker. I'm an author, podcaster, DJ, entrepreneur. And the entrepreneur piece comes in because my wife and I, we own a couple of companies. So one of them that we own is Rock Enterprises, which stands for Revive Our Culture. And we strive as a company to change how we as humans should care for one another. It's not about Black culture. When we tell people and they see us, that's the first thing they think about. It's about the culture of humanity. And our motto is creating a culture worldwide. Culture of caring worldwide. So we try to do that by leading, and all the things that we do with Rock Enterprises. We've got subsidiaries of Rock Media, where we travel around the world and we cover different events, do interviews, capture footage, video and photos for different events. And then we also have Rock Entertainment, which is where the DJing falls under now, as well as we do paint and sip events, work with team building things and so forth. And we just launched something in March, which we're not telling anybody yet. We're going to work on some things. You know, a lot of times I've learned over the years, and my wife made sure I started doing this, is you don't tell everybody everything you're doing. Okay.
Don't get ahead as a jumper.
Yeah. When they see it, they'll be like, oh, wow. Okay. So, yeah, we've got a couple of things that we do. But I've gone and spoken at different events, been on different panels and so forth. And we just stay busy.
Yeah, no, I see y'all on social media. Y'all be all over the place. Didn't y'all just finish a cruise or something? Y'all was going all over the place.
Yeah, we were on the Rise and Rhythm cruise for Tabitha Brown, who, if you don't know, she is a big-time influencer as well as actor. So we were there with her. And then last October, and we'll be going back again this coming October with Elon Trotman. He has the Barbados Jazz Excursion and Golf Weekend. So we go to Barbados and we cover his event, and we're going back again. And we'll also be with Tabitha next year, February, for a cruise again. So, yeah.
It sounds like a lot of fun.
Travel all over.
A little work and a lot of fun.
It is, you know?
Yeah.
You know, I call those workations.
Workations.
Okay. We're working, but we are going to get our vacation in as well.
A little bit more cation than the work, though. And
I
know
sometimes
Tabitha,
depends.
I know Tabitha Brown because I got her seasoning right on my shelf when I'm sprinkling.
Oh yeah.
I see.
And you know what's nice is I'm a big techie. I'm into technology. I love technology. Anything dealing with tech, and I've learned how to create everything that we do through technology. So I work smarter and not harder. So when we're out and about covering events and whatnot, I'm able to take care of what we need to without a lot of fuss. Mm-hmm. So that makes it easy. And we talk with a lot of people and like, man, you guys do so much. So you've got a lot of employees, huh? I'm like, yeah, there's two of us.
You
it's
and
me
the
and
wife.
the wife. It's two of us. That's it.
You, the wife, and technology.
That's it. That is it.
What's next on the agenda for you guys? You say you're author. What kind of book you got? You got a new book out, or?
So, well, it's been several years, and what was interesting was I talked with somebody, and they approached me, and they were like, "Hey, listen, we wanted to know if we've seen some of what you guys do, and everything. And we wanted to find out if you would be willing to be a co-author for a book. And I was like, a co-author, what is that? And at first I was like, I don't have anything to write about. What do you want me to write about? And they said, we see how you help people with starting businesses, showing them how to continue the business, how you started your business and so forth. We want that. And I was like, oh, okay. So the book is called The Change, Insights into Self-Empowerment. And it's book number 17. They've got a series of change books. And this book, I'm one of the co-authors in. And what was fantastic was when they talked with me about it, they said one of the individuals that's going to do the forward of the book is Les Brown.
Ooh,
and I was like,
I know
yeah,
that.
I was like, no, you got to be kidding me. And they were like, no, he's going to do the forward. So I did write a chapter in there, and that's how I became an author. No intent whatsoever. No idea ever that I would be an author. And I've had people since say, you're going to write another one? You're going to write another one? I didn't really push the book out there. I didn't really do anything to sell it and so forth. I've had individuals that's like, I got your book. And I'm like, oh, wow, okay. But I've had some others say, are you going to write anything else? And I'm like, nah, I'm real busy. I got a lot going on, and that's not where I want to be as far as a passion. Mm-hmm. What I like is the fact, through our media company, I started Straight Talk with DJ Doc, and it's a podcast. Right. And it's on all the top podcast platforms. If you search Straight Talk with DJ Doc, it comes up on any of your search engines on the first page. And you can see all the different platforms I'm on. So however you want to listen to the podcast, it's there. And with doing that, my podcast is about inspiration, motivation, education, health, and wellness. Mm-hmm. So what I like to do is bring guests on, and I'm talking doctors, lawyers, professionals, individuals that have experience and so forth, so that they can talk and people can get inspired, motivated, and educated. So instead of me writing a book, my platform is the podcast. And I feel blessed because we've had a lot of people that will write to me, text me, and talk about the fact that they didn't know something, but we talked about it on the podcast and now they know. And that was the goal of the media company, to make sure that people got straight information. That's why I called it Straight Talk.
Yep. Yeah, I peep in there every now and then. I actually pluck one of your guests from one of your shows. I was impressed with the talk. So let me get that information.
That is okay. The biggest thing that as I said earlier, we're about creating a culture of caring worldwide. And to lead by example, my whole thing is this. I know today I'm on your podcast. Mm-hmm. Later on, you're going to be on my podcast. Mm-hmm. I'm going to promote your podcast. I'll get other people that's like, why would you do that? That's your competition. I'm like, nah.
We're not competition.
The competition that I have? The only person I'm in competition with is the person I look at and see in the mirror.
Yep.
It's myself.
Just to be better than that guy the next day.
Right. The biggest thing I look at is this. We're both good looking guys. Those of you that can't see us, I'm going to let you all know. We're good looking.
We're some handsome brothers.
That's it. But the big thing is, there are going to be people whose cup of tea you are, but I'm not, and vice versa.
Right.
So my whole thing is, if they can still benefit, why shouldn't I let them know, hey, listen to a Nate Noble show?
Everybody wins.
You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't understand the whole, oh, no. I'm not about that. When it comes to technology, things of that nature, I share. I talk with individuals about, hey, okay, this is the type of setup you should have. Mm-hmm. This is where I got my equipment, yada, yada, yada. I'm not about holding on to stuff and be like, nah, I'm not going to, you have to figure that out yourself. That's not me.
Yeah, it's enough for everybody.
Yeah, that's what I say. There's enough work out there for everybody.
Yeah.
Now, if you happen to market better than me, or I market better than you, can't do anything about that. Because that's what I tell people too. Is you got to be more marketable than the next person.
If anything, I'm going to learn from you and try to duplicate.
Exactly. I'm a big Apple person. And so the other day, one of my coworkers was saying, hey, so is it Android has a better camera than the Apple phone?
I agree.
I said, They came out with the new Android, the newest Android. So right now they do. What will happen is in September, when Apple comes out with their new phone, they're going to take what Android did and make it better. So, what happens is 1 minute Android's up, next minute Apple's up.
Yeah. That's competitive.
That's just the way it is.
That's competition, them two.
You could say it's competition, but you also look at the fact that it keeps things in line too. From the standpoint that right now, we're on top. Right now, you'll be on top. Next time, I'll be on top. As I said, it's how you market yourself. That's all there is to it.
Yeah, I'm an Apple guy myself. Matter of fact, I don't even understand PC or Androids. I've been on Apple so long.
It's going on 30 years for me now.
Yeah, I know.
That I've been with Apple. And initially what was funny was I always said, no, I'm never going to get Apple. They are proprietary. They won't let me change anything in the computers. And, if I want to add more RAM and whatnot, they won't let you do that. I'm never going to Apple. And when I used to do photography and videography just straight at one point, I was in a class and one of the instructors said, take a picture of this vase. I said, okay. And then what I want you to do is edit it and make it sellable. I was like, okay. At the time, before that class, I just bought a $1,500 program for my PC laptop where I could take a picture, download it to that app, and then go ahead and edit it and sell from there. All right. So I take the picture, and he told us we had 10 minutes. I take the picture. I have to wait for it to download on the computer, which was about 4 or 5 minutes, and it was just one picture. Wow. Okay, this was so long ago. That tells you how slow stuff was. And I look at it, I do my editing. I'm like, okay, I like this. This looks good. I'm good at what I do. The guy next to me is doing something. I'm like, okay, I don't care about anybody else. I got the best one. The instructor comes by, he says, Thomas, what you got? I show it to him. He says, oh, very nice, nice. I'm sitting there like, yeah, I'm the stuff. The guy next to me says, so which one you want? I'm like, which one? I'm saying, I thought there was only one vase. What's he talking about? I look over his shoulder and he's got this thing sitting there that's smaller than my laptop. And he's swiping from left to right. And he's showing, and I see a vase the same color as mine. And then I see one where the colors are inverted. Now the vase is black and white. The outside around it is color. He had vignette, a darker circle around, had different color. I was like, what the heck? So when the instructor went to the third person, I said, how'd you do that? He's like, I've got a couple of apps. I paid $4.99 each, and they helped me do this. And I was like, oh man, my program was $1,500. $1,000, that's not bad. He said, no, $4.99. I was like, what? I said, what do you mean? He said, well, this is an iPad. I said, what? I knew nothing. He said, iPad. So I took the picture actually with my iPad. I said, you didn't use your camera? He said, no. I said, and it came out like that? He's like, yeah. And I just went ahead and used the two apps, and I added some more and changed some things. And so I had 10 instead of just one. I went out the next day. And I bought Apple. I bought the iPad. I bought the phone. I bought a bunch of apps, and business took off. And I've been Apple ever since.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. That's interesting. So how often do your podcasts come on?
So what's nice and where we're blessed at is I have my podcast, and I've got several segments. So the main podcast is Straight Talk with DJ Doc. That's the name. But one of the segments I have is businesses and people to know. Created this during the pandemic. When everyone was locked down, it was hard for people to actually promote or advertise their business.
Right.
I've been through advertising and promoting classes and courses and everything else. And I was like, okay. I said to my wife, how can we help people? And got to thinking about it. I said, you know what? We could bring them on the podcast because I can do it virtually. We can bring them on the podcast, and we can go ahead and talk about them, have them as the guest, and talk about the business, what they do, why they do it, how long they've been doing it. And, you know, again, inspiration, motivation, education. So that segment, Businesses and People to Know, took off. Now, we said we were only going to do that during the pandemic, but it's been 6 years and we're still doing it because we have so many individuals that reach out to us. We go, we network, and people are like, oh man, I would love to be on the podcast. I heard about it. So we will continue that. But then I've got another segment called CSC. And CSC stands for Cigars, Scotch, and Conversations. Yeah, I said it like that. That's
the ebb and flow of it.
There it is. A buddy of mine, we were at the cigar lounge and we were just talking with some guys that were there. And it's funny because we got there about 11 a.m. And we were probably 4 scotches in, around 2. And some guys we were talking about, he says, man, people need to hear you guys are dropping nuggets. And I said, this could be a podcast. And my buddy, who is Andre Scott Hobbs, he is a local San Diego veteran real estate agent and broker. He said, we should do a podcast. I said, hold on. A lot of times I carry my stuff in my car. And because I'm a techie, it's not a whole lot of equipment.
Right.
And we went ahead and he said, what are we going to call it? I said, well, shoot, we're smoking cigars. He said, drinking scotch. I said, and we getting ready to conversate. So CSC is what became the name. And on there, what's nice about it is the fact that we say conversations because we talk about everything. That's one of the ones that I have to give an R rating because of the simple fact we'll be on there. Like I said, we were 4 or 5 scotches in. So the 4-letter words were flowing, as well as the conversation ran from everything veteran related to how you pair your cigars and scotch or your drinks with it, to how our marriages are from, you know, what's the key points? Here's some points, guys. You know, I talked about the fact, guys, make sure you get some pedicures, all right? Because your wife does not want claws scratching her at night, you know, to the fact of, so this is how you make a woman happy in bed. We talk about a number of things on CSC, all right? But the best thing that's happened, and it's probably been about the last 2 years, 2.5, 3 years, is I now produce other people's podcasts on my platform.
Okay.
So when you go to my platform, you can see other people's podcasts, and I'm the producer for them. So it works out well. It works out really well.
Is it all on the one channel? The one link?
Yeah. When you go to Straight Talk with DJ Doc,
Yeah.
you'll see, if you go to Straight Talk with DJ Doc, you'll see all of the podcasts. Everybody has their own artwork, their own title for their podcast. But then what happens is when I shoot the episode, I give them the link that takes you directly to their episode.
Okay.
But what's nice is the overlap. The demographics that may listen to me all of a sudden may listen to one of the other shows, and now they like that show. You know, so the cross pollination, if I should say that, is fantastic, fantastic. So yeah, I just love that, and it's growing because I'm winding up with more clients. Yeah, that I'm doing podcasts.
Kind of grown organically. Huh?
Yes. And then we have sponsors for the episodes and whatnot. So it's good. Life is good, and we're blessed that the podcast is doing so well.
Yeah. So in the beginning, you didn't see it going this way. You were just thinking you're doing it for the pandemic, and it's like full bloom.
Yeah, you know, and even doing or having a podcast, you know, a lot of times, a lot of people would always talk about my voice. You need to be on radio. You need to be on radio. And when I tried being on radio, they were like, yeah, you know, you can be an intern. And after about a year, and then it was like, so did you graduate journalism school? Or I'm like, what? So my voice is not enough. Well, no. But I found when we talked about haters earlier, some of them were like, no, we can't have him on the radio.
You're going to take over, especially the nighttime smooth grooves.
So the whole thing that we looked at, my wife and I, we started a show, 15 years ago, Sunday Soul Hour, where we were actually on Facebook, and we did that live. So we created our own table,
There you go.
You know, they say if you don't get a seat at the table, create your own.
Do your own.
So we did, and Rock Media came out. We were initially Rock TV, and then everyone kept saying, "What channel are you on? What channel?" It's like, oh, so we rebranded to Rock Media. You know, when you look at the definition of media, that's what we do. So that worked out better, and we went ahead and we've been doing it ever since. So it's nice.
Cool. Hey, so where could people find you, like on social media, or you have like a direct website or something?
Yeah, so for the most part, if you go to Thomas Howard on Facebook, you will be able to find me. We have Rock Media YouTube channel. You go there and you'll see all of the events and interviews that we do, because that's our specialization, is interviews. We've been on the red carpet for the Oscars a couple of times, and for various movie premieres and things of that nature. But you can see all of that on our Rock Media YouTube channel. And then we have a Rock Media Instagram, which I'm building. We didn't start on Instagram, but Instagram is a great tool when it comes to social media. So I'm building that up with the things that we've been doing and so forth. But pretty much that's it. And what I'll do is I'll send you my digital business card, so you can put it into the show details and people can get to me. Yep. Cool.
Other than that, man, like this is a part of the show where I have my guests leave some positive life nuggets.
Oh, most definitely. Most definitely. The biggest thing that I tell people is, whatever you're going to do, if you know, I tell people that instead of jobs, they should have businesses, have your own business. And what I mean, a lot of people are like, well, I don't know what to do. Look at it this way. Find something you love, turn it into a business, find a problem, and then become the solution. If you're able to do that, you will be able to take care and create a business that will thrive. But keep moving forward. Whatever you do, keep moving forward.
Keep moving forward. And on that note, if you got anything else to lay on us, other than that, we pretty much got a good episode here, brother.
All right. Sounds good. Sounds good. Thank you for having me on.
Yes, sir. Yeah, like I said, I want to thank you for coming on the Nathaniel Noble Jr. podcast, and have a good day, brother.
All right. You too.
You've heard it exclusively on Nathaniel Noble Jr. podcast.
Hey, everybody. It's Thomas Howard, a.k.a. DJ Doc. And I want to thank you for joining me on Nathaniel Noble Jr. podcast. So if you need to, you can follow me on Straight Talk with DJ Doc on all streaming platforms for your podcast. Peace, y'all.
Thanks for listening to Nathaniel Noble Jr. podcast. The best podcast in your hands. With new episodes every Sunday at noon. Pacific on all podcast platforms. Check out MrNoblePodcast.com for more info. As always, be blessed. Don't stress, because this life is just a big old test. And you're gonna pass with flying colors if you don't quit. Peace.